Yeah, you don't see people doing this very often anymore. Wind it until the arrow lines up with that arrow. Oh, that's a few wind-ons. So 400, I'm good to go.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Matt. This is your first vlog. How you doing? Welcome to the Jiao Nation. I am in China in a city called Ningbo. About 8 million people. It's a city that's growing like crazy, a lot like most cities in China. Right here behind me, this is a small village amongst chaos of growth. We've got sky cranes like crazy over here. We've got the airport that's nearby. We've got factories and big industry that's over here. And this little pocket of a Chinese village that we're going to take a walk through.
Ni hao. I'm Jim.
Jim is an American. We have been friends since we quarantined, and he's doing some business here. But he's also a photographer. And not just your run-of-the-mill photographer. He's a film photographer. You know, the way it was actually meant to be. I remember when my dad first showed me a phone that took a picture, and I said to him, why would you want to take so many pictures? That's why film is nice, because it makes you think about each specific thing. And now we've got all these devices that take all these pictures, and my dad was like, no, Matt, this is going to be a big deal. Anyways, so how did you find this village?
So I actually am embedded in a factory right there. And I spend a ridiculous amount of time working in there, and it was just pure curiosity that had me walk through here one day. And I came through with a digital camera, and I decided this would be an interesting project to do on film. Was to meet a lot of the people, take photos, kind of understand the history of the village, where it's going, where it's been, and then create some kind of project. And that project has turned into a book.
So he did a picture book of life in this village. So we're going to take a tour through this village from his picture book's point of view. We'll go to different areas where he's taken photos and the stories behind those photos. It'll be sort of like a picture book in action.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And then so I'll show you some of the pictures.
Hopefully I can get some more pictures too.
Yeah.
while we're doing this.
This is interesting. I wonder what this is. You know, in China, they will plaster advertisements on pretty much every available surface. Yeah. You know the stairwells, right?
Yeah,
you go up the stairwells, they're
painted.
So I'm not sure what this is. Somebody let me know. It's probably a electrician, plumber,
There
carpenter, or
there.
something.
You can still see for CAD.
For CAD, computer-aided drafting.
Yeah.
And then they're like, nope.
Yeah,
Put
here's
it
the
over.
new sign.
Nope. And they put it over. I wonder if there's like a rivalry where like the CAD guy gets pissed off and covers up all the furniture guy and vice versa.
This is actually still a road. People take a shortcut through here in order to get to the intersection that's supposed to connect to that main road. So people live along here, but there's still cars buzzing by and motorcycles and whatnot. This is where the mayor lives.
The mayor?
The mayor. His wife operates a store. In fact, I've never seen it closed, but I've never been through here around noon.
How are people responding to you walking through here and taking pictures?
No problems, actually. I mean, a lot of people have asked me to come back and take their portrait after I've already taken their portrait. So they want to reshoot wearing something different or knowing that I'm coming.
Yeah, so Jim made this picture book, and he gave the picture book out to pretty much all the notable people he took pictures of, right?
Anybody that was in the book got a copy of the book for free as a thank you.
And then word started to spread, and pretty soon they're like, hey, you need to come back here. You know, you're going to tell the story of the funeral picture, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Around 3:30 or 4, people come to the market to buy whatever ingredients they need to make dinner that night.
Yep.
And the village all of a sudden just pours out of their houses, and you see all the people. And then I photograph the people selling stuff, buying stuff, the kids running around. This is a small general store where I took a picture of a little girl. And I wanted to take it inside the store, but it was way too dark. So I
remember this one, the snows.
Yeah, with the crate of beers behind her.
Yeah.
And the lighting was just really nice here, so that's one of my favorite shots. But this is where the little girl parents live.
So that little girl lives at
Well, the
probably
parents run
right
the
there.
store.
Yeah.
The parents run the store.
Yeah. Here's another number. What are they selling? What are they selling?
So I took this guy. He's handicapped, mentally handicapped.
Okay.
And I have his picture, but I need to bring it. It's actually sitting in your car right now to give to him.
Do you want me to go get it?
No. I'll do it another time.
Yeah.
So they just built this house for him. This is his house,
Oh,
and it was just built in the last 30 days.
like the village built it for him?
I don't know who built it, but they just built it. And I've got a picture of the guy building it, standing right in front of it, as he was wiring the wiring here. So,
Nice.
So after I take the photos, I usually have them printed and then give them to whoever I took the photo of. So that's one of the challenges here is hunting down the people after you've taken their photo to give them their photo. Back here is where the 99-year-old lady used to live with her next to her son. Her son lived around the corner. He's 67.
This would be a great picture from a drone.
Yeah.
Like just a happy face smiling on the cover over a.
It looks like it came out of an amusement park. Like they stole it out of an amusement park.
Okay.
They're hiding it over here. And most of it's covered up except for one character. Right back here.
My wife Annie and I watched Monkey King a while back, and she from her childhood she remembers the theme song, and it goes. Dang 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 pew 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 pew. Once I hear that, I cannot get that out of my head. So just kind of give you an idea. People living. Then you've got a garden here. I see some tomatoes and things like this. Rutabagas maybe, something like that. Then you've got the rice, and then on the other side, you've got factories. It's
Yeah, the whole village, about 270 degrees or so, is surrounded by agriculture.
yeah.
And then there's the factories that are starting to sprawl into that. We're going to go down a little.
Like an
alley.
interesting ecosystem, lifestyle ecosystem.
Go down here. So this is where the 99-year-old lady used to live. I took her first portrait here, and then I took another one down by her son's house at the end of this little alley.
Oh, this is interesting. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is one of those large
Collection areas.
water containers that you'd normally see in the middle of a courtyard house in Shanghai.
You want to take our picture?
Yeah.
我抢过，老板，你看兄弟们。
好吗？
Okay.
Bye-bye. So there's a museum in Ningbo that is near to here, and it was built a lot like this. It actually was built from this. So as they started destroying the villages, the existing villages here, they took sections of wall like that and they worked it into the facade of the museum. So the Ningbo Museum is quite beautiful. It's,
Won some design awards too.
yeah. I mean, it's famous.
Couple architecture awards.
Yeah.
I took a shot of this window. I like this. The fact that the window survives, but the house doesn't.
Oh my gosh,
That's
yeah.
kind of upside down.
Even looks like might have been somebody. I wonder what this was. Who lived here?
Just another house.
Yeah.
So these power lines up here, which are probably, I'm going to guess 15 feet high.
Yeah.
I took a shot of some chickens and pork hanging off of this drawing.
Oh yeah, is that the one?
That's the one. This is where I took that
cool.
shot.
I like that shot.
Yeah. But that is not low to the ground. I mean, that's up there.
Yeah.
So they must have had a ladder or something to put all those chickens up there.
Wow.
this is the canal that runs through the center of town. And when they put that road through, they're going to have to build a bridge over this. So that's one of the reasons that they're probably going to have to destroy the village, is to get all the equipment in to build a bridge. They can't just do a segment of road. But I've seen people fishing. In fact, I've got a shot down here of a guy fishing in the river, right down the way from where people wash their clothes. So I can't imagine what that fish tastes like.
Jim, the washing of the clothes is the least of the worries.
That's right.
It's the chemicals from the factories. like washing the clothes, that's soap.
Yeah.
But paint thinner, that's another thing that you don't want to be eating. A little outhouse.
Like the architecture.
So if this village does get destroyed, the people that live here are going to get really, really nice either places to stay. They're going to get an apartment in a nearby area. They'll have an opportunity to maybe live in the place that, if this does become a residential area, they'll say you can have one of the places here. And oftentimes you'll have very, very poor villagers that end up...
Yeah, they get upgraded quite a bit. Yeah.
Like quite a bit. I read a story of a guy that ended up having like a property that was worth millions of RMB,
Right.
and he was living in somewhat squalor.
Yeah, they take care of the people. They're just not going to put them out on the street.
Yeah.
One thing that they lose, though, is the culture of the village.
For sure.
I mean, you're going to see people that have sat on the same little bench for the last 50 years talking to her girlfriends, and, you know, that's the culture that's going to end up getting upset. But
The
you know,
community.
this is just progress. This is China. It happens thousands of times a day, probably, all over the country. So you can see that it's going to tear through. Hi, guys. Ni hao.
你好，叫什么名字？你叫什么名字？
我叫老外。
你叫老外？我叫中国人，你叫老外。He says,
Hey, come here. Can I take your photo?
可以拍啊。
Come here. Is it okay? Okay, look. Okay. Okay. 不要。
不要钱。
Yeah.
Okay. 1、2、3。谢谢。
谢谢。
Ask them where they live. Over there?
你住在这儿？
Okay, I'll get you a picture.
Do you think those kids know who you are?
Yeah.
They've seen you.
They've either seen me or they've heard of me. I want to try to finish off this roll today so I can develop it tomorrow.
How many on the 24?
12.
12. Oh, that's not
I've
hard.
already taken.
Yeah.
Spider-Man lives right in there.
Spider Boy. Where? Yeah. The smell of milled metal.
Yeah.
I like the smell of industry, you know. My dad grew up as a mechanic fixing buses, so the smell of diesel fuel, the smell of cut steel.
Burning PVC, not so much.
Okay, burning PVC. Although my dad was a plumber, and the smell of burning PVC was something I found very. And then like the river, so somebody's job is it to clean the river every so often, and then they'll take this little pontoon boat with a net, and they'll just go up and down the river.
This lady's picture is one of my favorites and one of the earliest. Yes. Because she was
so
sitting on
far.
a bench.
做饭。
做好了，做好了。
She was sitting on a bench and then she just spontaneously started laughing. And I took the picture right when she started laughing, and I just love it because it shows such joy in her. That you know, some of these people are.
She seems
not
like a happy lady.
She is a happy lady. She's always smiling. Let's go over here. This is where the dog lives.
Oh, the big one, the one that.
Well, the small one lives here. The big one wanders around. But this is where the guy chased me down to take a picture of his dog, which isn't here right now.
Where was the picture taken?
Right here.
Right in the corner,
I'm
right?
standing right over here with this in the background, and then the dog and his owner.
Yeah, he really, really wanted to take a picture of a dog. Take a picture of his dog. Because there's a lot of people here, they don't have a chance to have a photo.
No.
You know, they don't have a
They have
chance
it on their
to
phone, but they don't have a hard copy.
Hard copy,
They don't
you
have
know?
a print, which is what I give them after I take the photo, and then of course the book is one-upping of that.
Yeah.
Over here I took a family photo, and I was caught off guard. I thought it was the mother, father, and the two kids, but it turns out it was the grandfather and the grandmother, and the guy is in his mid-50s, and in the US it's not that preposterous to have kids when you're in your 50s, but here it was the grandparents that were watching the kids during the day while their kids were out working in factories. So I ended up giving him his picture, and he says, "Oh, thanks, my grandchildren will love it." Grandchildren? Everybody's doing laundry now while it's not raining.
Yep.
And it's cool and the humidity is gone. So you can always do your weather forecasting by laundry. If the laundry's out, then it's not going to rain.
Dryers are not a very common thing in China. No. Not at all. Not at all.
I have one, but it sucks. It takes 2 hours to dry a load of laundry. Now we're going to walk right down through the center of the village now. And ordinarily there's a market around 3:30 or 4 o'clock, but we're here at 12:30 and there's no market today. Yeah, they were very kind of weird in the beginning as I was walking through, because like I say in the book, I am one of the first Western people to walk through this village. It's just an obscure little village.
To pay it mind.
No reason for a Western person to walk through here, and then all of a sudden I show up. But after a while, things got normal, and I've got a few friends here now.
Yep.
I thought about taking out this billboard right here and putting some pictures on print right there.
Yeah, that would be wild.
I mean, how much could that cost?
Nothing.
To grab up that billboard.
You could do a collage
Yeah,
and print it on a banner
exactly.
and put it there.
Say thank
They'd
you,
love
Sean
it.
Luke Village.
All right, Jayo Nation, what do you think? Do you think that would be cool? We could sponsor the banner there of all of Jim's pictures so that villagers could walk by. You know, they would love to bring their family and say, "Look at this! This is our village." Yeah, it'd be a mural.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting idea. I think that would be great. I've said this more times than I can count, to be honest, but it's no less meaningful. The fact that traveling gives you a perspective of different people's lives.
Sure does.
And in the West, we have a lot of different people can live different lives, but it's limited. Mm-hmm. But when you go to different places like this, it extends that to see a whole different set of circumstances that people live under, and are happy under, and are fulfilled under.
This is the dog guy.
Oh, he's the dog guy.
Yeah.
You know, you just go, huh?
I have a picture for you.
照片有吗？
他拍
I'll get it tomorrow.
明天他给你。
明天拿过来。
对。Definition of happiness is a lot longer than I think people think, you know?
This is the newest house in town.
Ooh, pink.
Beautiful, I don't even know what color that is.
Magenta?
Coral?
That's not magenta, that's...
Yeah. No, that's Miami Beach pink.
yeah.
3:30, this whole area will be totally covered in people selling fruits, vegetables, fish,
Chaos.
everything you can imagine.
What's this? Is this a house? A house bridge?
Shop.
Oh, it's a shop bridge. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And what a great location. It literally covers it bridges the gap between the village and this street.
Yeah, right.
Two halves of the village. You gotta cross it. Might as well buy something.
That's right.
That's good marketing.
This is where the chicken lady sets up her stand. I shop there every time I walk through. She makes like chicken fingers.
And then over here we've got the steam segments for dumplings and baozi.
I think in my book, about 100 meters here represents probably half the book.
Okay.
Right along here.
Yeah.
I've gone deeper into the village, but most of the shots happen between 3:30 and 4:30 right along this strip here. these guys play mahjong all day.
You got a picture of them playing mahjong?
I do not. It's too dark.
Limitations of film
That's right.
is that
I can only shoot with a decent amount of light.
Yeah.
I can't go real low light with 400 speed film. So I have to pick my battles.
yeah, how's your ma? she's got
If I had a longer
she's
lens,
got a noodle mid-mouth.
yeah.
It's like, uh-oh. I hope they can't see
A
me.
shot of a couple kids having a bath right along here.
I told you. I
Yeah.
thought that's what it
that
said.
archway, just the kind of the, what do you call it, the perspective there of
Yeah.
the arch, and then the kids are off to the right.
You know, what was funny is when he was taking that picture of the kids, you wanted to take a picture with the mom in it.
The mom.
But the mom was like, don't take a picture of me, but you can take a picture of my kids.
Yeah, she leaned back into the doorway, and it was just the two kids, and it looked like they were, a 4-year-old was giving a 1-year-old a bath.
In America, they'd be like, you can't take a picture of me, and you certainly can't take a picture of my kids. Yeah.
No, door's closed.
Can you tell us the story?
Yeah, so a 92-year-old lady lives here, and I took her portrait one time last year, and it turned out okay. I wasn't the best exposure. And then this year, she stopped me, invited me into her house, and she had an empty photo frame. And she said, I would like you to enlarge the photo you took of me, and so I can use it in this photo frame that I picked out for my funeral, which, 92, that might be coming sooner than you think. And she was preparing for that. A lot of older people prepare for end of life here. So I said, I'll do that, but I want to retake the photo. I want to do a better job now that I know what you're going to use it for. So I did. I retook the photo. I had it enlarged. And I was going to have it sent over to the factory, and I was going to come over and put it in the photo frame. But the factory owner heard about that, and he said, no. Bad luck to get a funeral photo in my factory. You're going to send it directly to the lady. So I had to rewire all the postage on the thing, and I came over, put it in the photo frame, and now she's happy. But it took on an added dimension when I found out it's bad luck to actually touch a funeral photo before the person's funeral.
That's pretty impressive, That woman is going to have a picture that's going to descend down to her children
Yeah,
and
she's
grandchildren.
Got a whole pile of kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then and her memorial is going to
Yeah.
end up being the showcase will be the picture Jim took, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
No.
What the hell?
Smoking a cigarette with
Yeah,
propane
with propane.
canisters.
Yeah.
That's classic. That's a classic.
Let's go.
Don't turn the valve. Don't turn the valve.
So this is one of the nicer houses in the village, and for a while I thought that it might be where the mayor lives, because I don't know why I thought that, but so I asked people who lives in the nice house, and they said no, the mayor does not live there, but another guy does. And one time the other guy that lives there was standing here, and he said, hey, I understand you're asking about my house. And I said, yeah, do you live there? He says, yeah. Can I take your picture? So he's sitting right here with his house behind him. Definitely not the mayor, but he was pretty proud of his house.
Cool.
Let's go down this way. You can see a little more of the agriculture here.
Hello. Sometimes I like to say hello instead of ni hao.
Yeah.
Ah, 好可爱的猫咪。我就看到谁说。
Probably February, they started construction on 2 huge factories right over here adjacent to the village. The first one is going to be medical devices, and then there's one next to it that makes measurement devices, industrial measurement devices, calipers and torque wrenches and things like that. And they've just broke ground. It's going to be right next to all the agricultural fields here. And eventually there's going to be thousands of people working at those factories. I mean, it's really going to change the dimension. It'll probably pull a lot of people from the village working there too. So it's an opportunity, but it's also part of the sprawl that might be the demise of the village.
Yeah. This is sort of like hodgepodge living. You take whatever bits and pieces you can find and you formulate a structure to live in. Somebody's living in that house.
There was a bunch of cranes. They had just planted the rice here, and it was pure water. There was no plants. And there were a bunch of white cranes out there eating the rice that had just been planted, and the sun had just burst through a hole in the clouds. We were trying to get the cranes to fly away, but we couldn't, so it's a fair shot, not a great shot.
And you have another one over here.
Yeah, over here there was a lady working in the garden, and I framed her in between these square trellises, and it turned out okay.
What do you like about taking pictures? Like, what is it that makes it fulfilling for you?
You know, I've taken a lot of different styles of photos. I was taking street photos before, but now I'm taking street portraiture. I just like interacting with the people and trying to capture where they live and what they look like, and it kind of freezes history. A lot of people look at photos from either 20 years ago or 200 years ago, and that's how we see our history, is through photos and now video. But that's what I'm trying to do for these guys, is capture a little piece of their history and give it back to them. I've got a shot of the farmer here tending his plants with all this in the background.
Really?
So it really makes a statement that he's a micro farmer, but there's a mega factory being built right next to this micro farm.
Wow.
Bought some color film for our trip.
You did? Okay.
It's going to cost me $12 every time I push the button.
Did you get that like really vivid stuff? You were talking about the one that like pops the color?
Hectare.
Jim bought a really, really special camera in the last few videos back. You can see it. I'll link to it right now. He's going to bring it with me to Chongqing. We're going to stay there for a week. And Chongqing is a really interesting city. It's a bit more to the interior of China. It's an area that in the news is talked about because it's on the Yangtze River. It's north of the Three Gorges Dam, or well, west of the Three Gorges Dam. And right now
30 million people live there.
30 million. So he's going to go with me to Chongqing. We're going to have a good time. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
The whole trip is put on by a group called iChongqing, which is like the Chongqing Tourism Board. They just want to promote the town in some sort of a positive way, and I'm willing to do that if they can show us some interesting things. And then Jim can come along and we can... I'm actually interested in following you on your journey to take the best shot.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of an
take
interesting
some
thing.
Medium format, but I'm also going to bring the 4x5 camera too.
Yeah, it might be wet. If it's wet, then the field camera probably
It's not
won't
gonna
come out at all.
No.
But if we get a couple of dry opportunities,
Absolutely.
we can get the good one out. Cityscapes. So what are we gonna do right now?
We're going to grab some photos that I just had printed of some of the villagers, and then as a reward for allowing me to take the photo, I give them a print for free. I don't charge anything, but they get a print. So it's a quid pro quo.
How many do you have in the car? Like...
I probably have 15 or so.
Okay.
But I've given out hundreds of prints at this point now, so it's getting a little expensive, but that's okay. It's part of the project. I chalk it up to the project. Pictures to give away. This is always fun. This is rewarding for me to give somebody a photo print of themselves, because nobody prints pictures anymore.
Yeah.
People have thousands of pictures on their phone, but they never print them. So I print them and I give them to everybody that I've taken their portrait.
And it's a good conversation starter too.
Yeah, it is. If I spoke Chinese. Poke a few holes in them for windows.
It's a fixer-upper.
It is. Might get a little warm in the summer, but this is part of the China tiny house craze. You take a 20-foot or a 40-foot container, poke some holes in it, you got a house.
Yeah, somebody's listening to TV. I can
Yeah.
hear the TV on the inside.
That has got to be hot though. in the
Oh.
summertime.
These are pretty.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. It's like
Ni hao.
We can go back and visit my farmer friend too. He lives back there. Hey, ni hao, ni hao. Can I take their picture? Can I take a photo?
哦，可以。
Okay.
来个 pose 吧，人家给你照相了，笑吧，看镜头，宝贝，给你照相，笑一个，宝贝。
这个茄子吗？
Okay.
啊，茄子，茄子，
1、2、3。
怎么？
谢谢，谢谢。
拜拜。
拜拜，手举了一个拜拜。
And it's so different in the U.S. To ask a parent in the U.S. if you could take a picture of their kids, they're going to call 911.
Yeah.
Here you ask parents, they say, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's one of my customers. Ni hao. Hello. We'll give this guy his photo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Here's the lady in the greenhouse.
Okay. Where's the dog guy?
There he is.
There he is.
Dog picture A and dog picture B with the stray wandering in. Where did he go?
It's her husband, and that's her
Yeah,
husband's dog. Yeah. 两个狗啊？
哎，两个狗呢？
对，
这个狗
白色的。
这个
好的，
好，谢谢哈。
谢谢，
拜拜。
时候照的相？什么时候照的？
上一次吧。
Look, they're looking at your pictures.
Hey, 你好，你好。
你好，你好，是他，
Okay.
是他。那就现在，他睡觉的了。没事，
This lady?
这个是我女儿。
Yeah. This is his
哦
house.
哦，
So
对
give
对
that
对
to
对
him.
对对。
Give that to him. Okay 了？
还有啊，
谢谢，谢谢。Does he know where this lady
你
lives?
认识他在哪呀？
啊，他
你认识他吗
这里，
这里。
我女儿。
With
你的
her?
女儿？
哎，对，
His daughter.
His daughter. I have a gift for her. I'm
他
gonna
要一个礼物，
这个
他要发给他一个
for
礼物
for。her. I have a gift. I'll go get it.
等
I'll
一下，
bring it
等一下，
later.
他有一个礼物，他要给他一个。
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll come back.
We'll be right back.
He's
回来。
freaking out.
No, I think you understood.
I was editing the photo, and I looked at the walker that she had. and it's
Oh, yeah, you have
welded.
it?
I have the new one. Yeah. So we can go get that and give it to her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Jim took this picture, and you see this walker. This thing is a monstrosity. It must weigh, how heavy is it?
20 pounds.
20 pounds. 20 pounds. And so Jim thought he would go and find a inexpensive
Sure.
but lightweight walker to give. And so we're going to go to the factory right now, right? The
Yeah,
factory?
yeah, it's sitting in the factory.
And then pick it up, and then we'll come back here and give it to
To her father.
her father and see if he likes it. Maybe maybe he won't like it.
Yeah,
He's like,
who knows? Who knows?
the cast iron walker is bolted to the ground.
Yeah, could be so
like,
she doesn't get far.
doesn't move around
There might have
quick.
been another design decision there.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? He'll have options.
Yeah, we'll try. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
I'll be back in a little while. They speak really thick Ningboese. Wendy does. That's why I take her to the village, because she can speak to anybody in the village. Puppy's moving around.
Yeah. On the move. Yeah, so Jim has the walker, and we're gonna give it to Dad. Maybe she'll be there.
Yeah, never know.
And we're just missing the rain. The rain is gonna be here in a second. You know. Yeah.
Hey, these are our friends.
How about you? It's okay, it's okay. 他要给你一个新的 walker. 这个是一个更高上的这个。Do you want this? I can make this. So there you go, guys. I mean, a little walk around a unique, not so unique. It's not so unique. It might be unique to maybe the Western world, but not so unique to China. A village in Ningbo, China. These people are going about their lives every day. Well, you sit there and watch this video in your air-conditioned living room, watching your Netflix or whatever. These villagers are going about their day doing their thing. It's just an interesting thing to keep in the back of your mind, that there's billions of people living all sorts of different lives.
And most
We're all
people
trying
see
to
the
get
big
along.
cities in China. They don't
Yeah.
see the micro cities,
Yeah.
the villages. But
Yeah.
this is blue collar. This is where the factory workers live, and that's very typical. There's tens of thousands of these scattered all over China, adjacent to major cities.
Yeah. That number is small.
yeah,
There's millions upon millions. All right, guys, take it easy. If you like this video, why don't you share it, subscribe, comment, make some comments. Let me know what kind of pictures you might like Jim to take when he's in Chongqing, and we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye-bye. The next few episodes are going to be where I am right now, which is Chongqing. If you take the time machine and you go back in time, you would say, how the hell could you build a city like this? Look who's here! Hey, Alex. For those of you that don't know, that's Alex Absolute. I was just saying that I haven't taken my wallet out of my pocket to remove any sort of currency in months.
You just move.
Had it marked with a B.
Yeah, put it in the other